This is the property on Front Street. And as I drove by, you could see some of my notes. Okay, roof wavy, aluminum is washed out, occupied, nice little house, did not get inside. One of the situations that people bring up, and this was a concern of ours, was that if people are living there, are we taking away their homes? Is that a legitimate thought that you guys thought about? Okay. Well, there's many reasons why people lose their homes. The gentleman in this house, I'll just give you a little bit of a story, because actually it's kind of like doing a good deed. The gentleman in this home was in his late 50s. He was mentally handicapped. His sister was in her 70s, had Parkinson's. She was extremely worried about him because she lived somewhere else. And she couldn't take care of him. And he smoked constantly. And he had very poor hygiene. Getting the drift? And she was very concerned. After the auction, we went up, because part of the rules was we had to remove the auction signs off of the properties, right? So we were there, we removed it, and she came out the door, and I walked up. I introduced myself, and I said, "Did you know your property was in the auction today?" She goes, "Oh, yes." And I thought, whoa, she's happy about this. This doesn't add up. She goes, and I says, "I just want to let you know that my friend and I purchased it." And she goes, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you." And I'm going, "Really?" And she goes, "Yes." And so she told me about the story of her brother. And she told me the story about herself. And I says, "Well, how long do you think that you'll need, to have him out of here?" "Oh, I'll have him out in a week." I said, "Well, if you need to the end of the month, this is okay." She goes, No. 2 weeks will be more than enough. I'm so happy he's going to go to a group home. They're very, very nice people who have people to talk to." And she just went on and on and on. She had tears of joy. She opened up her little purse and she goes, "Here's the key." I said, "Okay." So weird things happen out there. I says, "Why didn't you sell the house?" She goes, "My brother would not have moved out. He would have given me a hard time if I put it on the market to sell it. I would have had to have him sign. He would not have moved out. This was the only way." I said, "Because you could have gotten money." And she goes, No. She goes, "This is the only way I could have done it." She goes, "Thank you so very much. You don't realize the burden you removed from me." I said, "Okay." So here's the house. It's got some fake brick in the front. And you can see the siding's a little washed out. But it's not a bad little house for $16,000, is it? So we went in after the gentleman moved and pulled up the carpet, did a paint job, and a few of the improvements so it would smell better. It's amazing what a coat of paint does to sell a house, okay? We went, put it on the market. These people came up and they wanted to buy it on a land contract. A land contract is where we become the bank. We are the mortgage holders. These people cannot qualify for a mortgage for some reason or not, okay? But they may have money. There's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of people who have money, but they've recently gone through a bankruptcy or they have other issues. So just because a person can't buy a piece of property with a mortgage doesn't mean they don't have money. So we sold the property for $42,900. And so this is basically a closing statement. So they'll be paying us $550 a month at 10% interest, okay? Here is the land contract terms. If you go down, number 2 says we sold for $42,900. They put $2,000 down, then another $1,500, which gave them a balance of $39,400. The payments are going to be amortized over 10 years. They're going to pay us $550, and we are going to collect the taxes. In some instances, you let the mortgagee, the person who is buying the home, pay the taxes. But how did we get this piece of property? On a tax deed sale. We got it because someone didn't pay the taxes. So do you think I'm going to take that chance ever again? No. So I'm making them pay me the taxes. I put in escrow for them so that when the taxes come due, I pay for it. Make sense? We're going to give them a 2-year land contract. You see the payments of $550. You see the interest payments. So in 2 years, I'm going to make an additional $7,337.60 on my money because their land contract term, their mortgage rate with me is 10%. When their land contract come due, they're still going to owe me $33,500. So now I've made an additional $7,000 on my money. I've sold the property for $42,900, and now when they come to pay off, they're going to owe me $33,000 on top of that. Is that a pretty good little side investment?